Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here in London at the Kensington. And actually, I've been here before, but this is the second time. I'm on a Visit Britain trip all across England. And I'm here with Klaus Kabelitz, who is the general manager of this wonderful hotel. Fairly new. I think you came here last year. And we're going to talk about the hotel and a whole lot more, because this is a wonderful, wonderful property in a great location. And you'll find out about that and more on Insider Travel Report. Klaus, first of all, it's great to be here. It's great to return to this wonderful hotel. And you've been here since last year, right?
Indeed, and thank you and welcome back, James. Very nice to welcome you to your London home, so to speak. And
it's very much a home. And we're sitting in the lounge, and it's very, very pleasant. And we actually have to leave today, and we were like, why can't we stay one more day?
Well, that's a very nice sentiment. I think we can't ask for more. But for me, it's the first time in a townhouse hotel, not purpose-built, but residential townhouses from over 100 years ago that grew together, making a really lovely home for anybody visiting London, I think.
Let's talk about the location, though, because it's such a wonderful location. We're right near everything. We're not far from Harrods. We're not far from Kensington Gardens, everything, right?
It's absolutely the cultural centre of London as well. The famous museums are around the corner. As you say, Harrods and all the shops of Knightsbridge are there if you dare go there to spend your money.
I've tried to avoid it this time. I don't know how I did that, but they had us going so much that I never had a chance.
You did well, better than me, I have to admit. But also the theatres of the West End are not far, so you really have all the best things that London is famous for right around the corner. And we're the closest to the airport. That does help too.
That is interesting, yeah, and it is true. They got a car for me, but usually I would have taken the tube or something. It's not too bad.
Oh yes, absolutely. 2 tube stations and they take you anywhere in London. That is a bit further away.
Now let's talk about the hotel itself. And you mentioned that it's a string of townhouses. And how long has the hotel been a hotel?
Basically since the early 1900s. 1912, it was the Onslow Court Hotel. And then later on it changed names to the Kensington after a really massive refurbishment about 12 years ago when the Doyle family took it back and raised it to this standard.
Yeah, well, that was why I was here on a trip. I did 2 of the Doyle Collection hotels in London when I was here last, and they were both fantastic. And this really was a great location to be. Now, how many rooms do you have?
It's 146 in total.
Okay, and what's the suites? And I saw a few of your suites, and you're going to see them. I took some photos of the suites. They're really lovely.
Thank you. There's about 30 suites in total, junior suites, and then 3 very nice one-bedroom suites. Lots of interconnecting, so you can make 3-bedroom suites if required. Good for families especially, who love to stay together.
And then the suites on, I think it's the first floor, I always get this mixed up, they have very high ceilings, right?
That's right, yes. Unlike the other hotels I worked for, the first floor is the best, not the top floor. The top floor is where in the olden days the staff used to live. So that's where the cozy rooms are, regular ceiling height, not the very high ceilings of the first floor, but the rooms are just as nice.
And the rooms, I got to say, are incredibly well appointed. The beds are really comfortable. It's a perfect setting. It's got, and the bathrooms are excellent. So you're not missing a boat here at all when you can stay here, right?
Thank you. No, I think it's the same than West End hotels, except you have the quieter location and you're so much closer to these wonderful cultural, institutions around us.
Yeah, and that's absolutely true. Now, what's your background? Where have you been before? Because you arrived here, I think, last October, but you actually had, and we were talking about this earlier, you were with Seabourn for a while, right?
That's right. That was my last adventure. Post-COVID, the travel bug hit, and I decided rather than go to another hotel to go and be hotel director on a cruise ship. I've always loved cruising and cruise ships, so I ended up on Seabourn, my favorite brand, and I directed Seabourn Quest, the first of their sort of expedition ships that went to the Antarctic, and I saw the penguins, and I did the Arctic plunge, and I saw that amazing iceberg that they're talking about now that's heading for South Georgia, and so on and so forth. So it was an absolutely wonderful experience.
But you're no stranger to London, though, because you were here before that, right?
Very true. London was always my home, actually. I came here for 2 years, intending to then move on. I did move on, hated it where I went, came back to London, and then more or less stayed. Did sort of adventures abroad. Different companies sent me to different hotels, but London has really been my home since 1981.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now let's talk about food and beverage here, because you have an incredible bar. The bar is one of my favorite rooms in the hotel, and then you have a lovely breakfast area, and we also had dinner there last night.
It's, again, because we were townhouses, they're all interconnected but lovely, cozy, smaller rooms. The bar is the only one in this area of that caliber, quite cool, and a cool crowd as well, especially on Thursday nights, which you might have experienced last night. It's the new Friday, as people say, and we are quite the hotspot in Kensington. The restaurant we are developing, we have a wonderful new chef. She's Brazilian. She's got fire. So, watch this space is all I can say.
I'll come back for that. I had a lovely breakfast there this morning, and we, as a group, we had a dinner last night that was very nice. It's a lovely room, a lovely 2 rooms actually, and then this lounge where we are now is also fireplaces and everything else. It's kind of the quintessential English drawing room, living room, right?
Oh yes, it's the meeting spot of Kensington. Lots of locals, lots of residents come here. Ladies for coffee mornings, gentlemen for business meetings.
And tea, of course.
Absolutely, and it's changing because we work with the V&A Museum, and they have an amazing Cartier exhibition. So our pastry chef is developing a whole new collection based on jewelry and watches. So that's going to be very exciting when we launch that.
Well, that'll be fantastic. And of course, the V&A is one of the most incredible museums in London, and it's right next to the Natural History Museum. So you have all that right on your doorstep, right?
Exactly. So we are really spoiled for choice. We can have either dinosaurs as a theme or jewelry. You pick your choice. I think family love it because there's something for everybody.
I think the dinosaurs are a little cheaper.
That's true.
Because then you're going to go to Harrods and do something really awful. But
yeah, that is the danger. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Now, what would you tell? We go out to 127,000 travel advisors who are booking London all the time. What would you tell them about how their clients can best experience the Kensington?
I think to use it like a townhouse as their own private residence in London. We have a separate entrance that the guest room key will open and close, so you can come and go as you wish. Whether you have huge parcels with you or big families, you can make this really your home. But the good thing is we make the beds and we do the dishes.
Can I just stay here for a while? Because I don't want to go home now, because this is exactly what it is. Most of us felt that way in the group. We said, we are moving on to do our part of our tour throughout the UK up to Newcastle, and everybody said, why can't we just stay a little more time in the Kensington?
Well, I couldn't wish for a better compliment, and that's exactly what we are striving to achieve with every guest.
Now, where can travel advisors go to learn more about the Kensington? What's your URL and all that?
Always look up under Doyle Collection.
In Doyle Collection as well, which is a wonderful collection. They have amazing hotels. They have 2 or 3 in London now?
3 in London in total. The wonderful Bloomsbury.
That was the one I stayed in last time.
And then the Marlborough and the Marlborough Lanes.
That's the only one I'm missing so far. I got a part of the collection, and then going to Dublin. That would be.
Well, that is the highlight. The Westbury Hotel there is the heart of the city. Everybody who is anybody goes there for coffee, tea, lunch, dinner, whatever. So you really are staying in a piece of Dublin.
Well, Klaus, it was great to meet you here. Thank you for your hospitality here. I hate to leave, and hopefully be back one of these days. It's one of my favorite hotels I got in London, I got to tell you.
Thank you, James. We hate to see you go, but do enjoy the rest of Britain. There's a few more things to see.
I think so. We'll find them. I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.